special chanting of the holy name. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 117. When the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is chanted by many men together, the chanting is called Sankirtan. And as a result of such a yajna, there will be clouds in the sky. Yagyat bhavati pragyaha. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse number 14. In these days of drought, people can gain relief from scarcity of rain and food by the simple method of the Hare Krishna yajna. Indeed, this can relieve all of human society. At present, there are droughts throughout Europe and America and people are suffering. But if people take this Krishna consciousness movement seriously, if they stop their sinful activities and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all their problems will be solved without difficulty. Prabhupada always had faith in this. This is wonderful. As a matter of fact, he has had conversations with many different people from all walks of life,
yes,
including police chief in Chicago many years ago. He had, the main problem in our society is not scarcity. People think, and they think that there is scarcity of food, scarcity of vegetables, scarcity of this. It is not so. That scarcity is created by our karma. That is why even it is said that a lot of these countries, I have to highlight this point here, so that incorporating the theme of this paragraph here, that people in today's world, why are they suffering? Big countries, many countries, they are suffering. Suddenly big cities are being wiped out. Tsunami comes and it immediately engulfs a complete city. All these things are happening. There is a reason behind it. The reason is because people's impious activity has become out of limit. So that is why they are being punished. It is, especially where there is a lot of rampant meat eating. They are collecting a lot of bad karma. And especially it becomes like a whole thing from the society. Then at some point, Mother Nature, who is under the guidance of Krishna, comes and puts her foot down and punishes. That is the reason why these things happen. It is not that some people argue that what happens if everybody becomes vegetarian, then what will happen? There will not be enough vegetables and plants. Everything will be finished. We have to cut animals and eat them. Otherwise everybody becomes vegetarian. But they don't understand. This is the worst and the most stupid argument that I have ever heard. And then you tell them, because you may come across such people. What is the best answer that you can probably tell them? They will probably not even understand this paragraph, that they are not chanting Hare Krishna. But you tell them something very simple. Let's say you are eating a goat. Whatever, in the shop they go and they cut the goat or the cow or other animals. How much green grass or vegetation does each goat consume in their lifetime? How much in a lifetime does a cow eat? How much grass does it consume? If you look at the number of kilos or the weight by pounds, it is humongous. So it is not that it is not available, vegetation. You see the point?
Yeah.
If you tell them this, they will not have any answer. They will not have any answer. Because they argue, oh, everybody becomes vegetarian, then they will say, the animals' population will increase. That is not true. Animals are being bred in slaughterhouses.
Yeah.
Artificially they are being bred. So it is not true. There is never any scarcity. Scarcity is created due to our karma. Because after all, we have to, the main theme of this shloka is that everything is under the control of Krishna, directly and indirectly. And indirect control means the Devi Devatas, the demigods, they are in charge of rain. They are in charge of all different departments, water, air, etc. So when one does not acknowledge the supremacy of Krishna, and one does not do any kind of pious activities, why should they favor you? Supposing if you want to favor a beggar, right? You think you will ever favor a beggar who is arrogant? So you find somebody who is suddenly coming when you are standing at the signal light and he starts banging your car window violently, are you going to give him $1 or something? As a matter of fact, you will say, get out of here or I'll call the police. Is it not true?
Yep.
You are in control of giving that donation. But at the same time, on the other token, if somebody comes in with a very nice attitude, that look, I really need the money, can you spare $1 for me? How many people will not feel like giving?
Yes.
So the point here is that this rain is actually is a portfolio given to the demigods, and there is no scarcity when the yajna is done. And the main thing about yajna being, there are different types of yajna, but in Kali Yuga, this all the other kinds of yajnas take a backseat because the perfect Brahmins are not available. In the Vedas, it is said in the Puranas that there are 4 yugas and there are 4 different yuga dharmas. What are there? 4 different yuga dharmas. In Satya Yuga, the yuga dharma was Dhyato Vishnu. The rishis and the devotees used to sit in meditation, some of them for even thousands of years, because their lifespan was about 100,000. For example, Vishwamitra Muni sat in meditation for 60,000 years at that time. And people used to, through dhyan, they used to get samadhi and they used to connect with the Supreme Lord. Then the Yuga Dharma changed when Treta came. Tretayam Makhai. Makhai means yajna. The yajna that they do, fire sacrifices. And that is the reason, if you remember, that same Vishwamitra Muni, who had a very long life, he came to King Dashrath and said, I need your 2 sons, Ram and Lakshman, because we are having so many, I will train them. And he trained them in the military warfare, especially the archery. And at a very young age, he took them because they were having problems in their yajna. When the Brahmins were chanting the mantras, the Rakshasas were throwing through their Mayavir, through their magic, they were throwing blood, they were throwing bones, they were throwing urine, and they were taking a lot of pleasure in vicarious pleasure, in harassing the Brahmins. And that is why Vishwamitra Muni came, and Ram and Lakshman, they killed so many demons and they kept guard of the Yajna-shala. Day and night, both the brothers, they were taking guard and they killed many demons. And Vishwamitra Muni was very pleased, and when we know in Ramayana, after that, he went to Janakpuri and the Swayamvar happened and Lord Rama got married, etc. Anyways, coming back to the main theme and the subject. So that was the process. Today we cannot do these yajnas, what they were doing in Treta Yuga. Neither we have the resources, nor we have the Brahmins. Those resources were like what? For those yajnas that Vishwamitra Muni had taken, Ram and Lakshman, to protect, they went on for months. Day and night, 24/7. Imagine if you have one lamp in your house that you need to light 24/7, how much ghee you will need. How many people can really afford it? Or how many people will do it? Imagine a yajna fire that takes so many ingredients, tons and tons of ghee, tons and tons of grains. Not possible. So, at that time when they did it, when they were meditating in Satya Yuga, the Devi Devatas were pleased. And Krishna was pleased. Vishnu Narayana was pleased. When they did yajna in Treta, Devi Devatas used to come out, the demigods used to come out of the fire. Just yesterday I was speaking in a lecture on Ramayana that how when King Dashrath desired to have a child, he went and asked his guru Vasishtha Muni that what should I do? I don't have an heir. What happens if I die? There is nobody to take care. So Vasishtha Muni said that why don't you do Putra Kamishti Yajna? And in the Putra Kamishti Yajna, the Brahmanas were there, perfect environment was there. They did the yajna so perfectly that from the yajna, one demigod came out, one devata came out and gave payas. You all know the story, right, in Ramayana?
Yeah.
Personally, from the fire, where do you see that today? So many people are doing yajnas, it is not very effective in Kali Yuga. So like that. So anyway, so that was the perfection. Devi Devatas were pleased and they came out and gave. And the result was that King Dashrath got 4 wonderful sons. That is the result, because they were pleasing the demigods. Please try to understand this. And pleasing the demigods means you're pleasing Krishna. So then came, after Treta came Dwapar. Dwapar is Paricharya now. The Yuga Dharma changed. Maximum temple worship. Vishnu temples were built in India and people used to worship maybe 6-7 hours a day. Everybody, like, you have your subdivision. We all have subdivisions here, right? The builders are building. They used to have nice temples in every subdivision. Just like nowadays, when they build a subdivision, they have to have a school, they have to have a park, right? All these amenities are there, right? It's a clubhouse. So at that time, their clubhouse was the temple. And every small community that was built, nice temple was there. People used to wake up early in the Mangal Aarti, 3:30, big and small, old, everybody went to the temple. And they sat there, they did seva, whatever capacity they had, making garlands, cleaning the temple, taking darshan, aarti, listening to the pravachan of the Pandit Acharyas, and then they would go to work around 6:30. Same thing would repeat in the evening at sunset. They would all assemble again in the temple at 6:30 in the evening and stay in the temple until Shayan Darshan, and same activities, bhajan, kirtan, darshan, and listening to the Shastra from the Acharya or the Guru. So 3 hours, 3.5 hours in the morning, 3.5 hours in the... Is it possible today? People can barely come to the temple even once a week. Some are very difficult to come even once a month. Some for them it's very difficult for them to even come once a year. Some people, even in a so-called Hindu religion, they only go on like their special Diwali day, or they go on birthdays. 2 times a year. That's all they go. Otherwise they don't care. So how on earth will they be delivered? So that is the reason in Kali Yuga, especially Harinam Sankirtan. That is what the whole thing is all about. It says at present, there are droughts in Europe and America and people are suffering, but if people take to this Krishna conscious movement seriously and if they stop the sinful activities and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. What happens here? The result of that Hare Krishna chanting is you please Krishna. And very important, everybody repeat this after me. Yasmin tushte, Jagat tushta. Bolo, everybody bolo. Yasmin tushte. It's a very small slok, you can memorize it. Uske upar rakh do. Please don't keep it on the floor. Because this is Shastra. Don't keep it on the floor, please.
Sorry.
So please everybody repeat again. Yasmin tushte. Jagat tushta. This is a 4-word slok. You should never forget this. Remember it today and or remember it every day. And it's not very. Yasmin means, oh Krishna. Tushte means, if you are pleased. Jagat tushta. You can please everything else.
Everybody's pleased.
And the example, it's given in the Upanishads, it's given in the Shastras. Prabhupada used to give this example all the time. That if you want to satisfy or nourish a tree, how would you do that? Would you pour water on every leaf or would you just pour water in the root? And once you give, just like we have so many parts in our body, have we not? Do you feed separately roti to the hand or to the fingers or to the legs? Your legs are very tired after a long day's work, right? Your body is very tired after a long day's work. You are hungry, what do? Right? You immediately take food, put it in your stomach, and all your senses are satisfied.
Strong.
They are strong, nourished and satisfied. So if you please Krishna, you do not need to separately please anybody else. Automatically everybody else will function properly. Just like if I fill my belly nicely with nutritious food, I will stay healthy, my hands will be healthy, my eyes will be healthy, my brains will be healthy, everything about my body will be healthy. So that is the principle. There is a sloka in the Upanishads that describes it. So in this sloka, anybody remembers this? What was the sloka?
Yasmin tushte.
Yasmin tushte?
Jagat tushta.
Jagat tushta. You please Krishna, you don't have to please the whole world, automatically the world will be pleased. So that is the reason there is no scarcity. I'm taking a little more time on this sloka because this is a very fundamental principle. Okay? So that is, if you please Krishna, all the Devi Devatas are pleased. You do not separately worship any other demigod. You respect. But you do not need to separately ask them for benedictions or need not for your needs, Krishna will automatically take care, because they are given in charge. Just like, when you are in a big company and there is somebody who is an accountant department that writes the paychecks for all the employees. But they just don't whimsically write the paycheck. Just because I like you, I'm going to put extra $1,000 in your paycheck. No, there is rules. The boss has set the rules that, okay, somebody works 40 hours and this is his wage. He's supposed to be given $15 an hour. Then that is what he will get. Right?
Yeah.
The rules are set. The rules are set. So the rules are set by Krishna. To all, even all the Devi Devtas, they gave in accordance to Krishna's wish. We just sang that song. Tumi Sarve Sarveshwara Vrajendra Kumar. Somehow or the other, I just opened that page and that song came out. It is kind of connected here into this particular subject that we are talking. So, there is no scarcity. If scarcity is because of our lack of consciousness. And if somebody is Krishna conscious, how on earth will Krishna not take care of them? Is it not true?
Yeah.
Huh? Why he will not take care? He is taking care of even the atheists. So what to talk about the devotees? Right or wrong? Okay. So now we will start reading. We can start from here. The second page, please, and then we can take one paragraph until we finish. Spiritual edification 15 from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada. I will start with the first paragraph and then we can continue. Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 text number 13. Trivir guna mahir bhavai ebihi sarvamidam jagat mohitam navijanati mamebhya param avyayam. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand the transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Next, please.
Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmins. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the mode of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Sudras. And those who are less than that are animals or animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may either be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life. And we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is behind all these modes. So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by those three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Next, please.
There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of the material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendental personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of passions and ignorance, and even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conceptions of the absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in His personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame and renunciation. When even those who are goodness cannot understand that hope is there for those in passions and ignorance. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually literated.
Yeah. So okay, we have the discovery questions. Maybe you all want to read this one more time silently. We'll give you about 2-3 minutes to read this page, and then we will go directly into the questions. And then again, I always encourage as much as possible, don't look at the sheet. Try your best. Without, and then if you still want to, there is no hard and fast rules that you should not. But the best way that I have found over a period of time is, if you want to memorize stuff, try to enforce things on your brain. And then, if you cannot, then you go refer. Then it will be easy to memorize. What was that shloka, Satchitananda? About
Today, Prabhu?
this, what is that shloka? That 4-word shloka. Bolo Kavita Mataji.
Yasmi Trishyo Jagata Trishyo.
Very good. Tushte.
Tushte.
Tushte means to santushta. That word santushta comes from tushta. Tushta means satisfaction. Very good.
Yasmin tushte jagat tushte.
Jagat tushta. You please Krishna, whole world is. You don't need to separately make separate endeavours to please anybody else. Automatically, everything will be.
Everything was.
That's a word here?
No.
No. He just-
I'm talking about memory.
Yeah.
He was trying. He just.
So and it was
So what is it? Again?
Yasmin.
You can rewind and then.
Yasmin.
Tushte.
Bolo. Say. Yasmin.
Yasmin
Tushte.
tushte
Jagat.
jagat
Tushte.
tushte.
Yeah. Haribol.
Look, Prabhuji, there's an example for that. When this Muniji came and wanted to have the feast in Draupadi's place,
Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa.
And Durvasa Muni wanted to take bath,
Yes.
and at that time Draupadi had no other choice to call Krishna. Krishna came, and Krishna said, look into your pot, the rice pot, is there anything left there? And Draupadi said, only one rice I could see. Well, bring it, just give it to me. So he was Draupadi was surprised that what Krishna wants to do that. He just took that rice, was left into the rice pot, and these all sannyasis were taking bath, and they are feeling full stomach of food.
Yes.
They felt that no hungry, nothing. They just simply ran away.
Ran away.
Because they
They
were
said,
feeling embarrassed.
we cannot eat anything because our stomach is over full. So this is the example that if Krishna takes something, everybody.
So, okay, question number 1. Name the 3 modes of material nature. So, we'll take this question in parts. What are the 3 modes?
Goodness,
Yes.
passion, ignorance.
Very good. Very simple.
So, Satgun, Rajagun, Tapogun.
Yeah.
Not tapa, tamo.
Hindi.
Tamo.
Tamo. Perfect. Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamagun. So mention which type of persons have which type of mode predominantly in their personalities. Nice thing to study. And next question. So these modes of material nature that we mentioned. So Satogun is predominantly present in which type of persons?
Brahmins.
Very nice. What about Rajogun? Rajogun is present in which kind of personalities? Very nice. What about a combination of Rajo and Sato?
Gaseous.
Gaseous. And Tamagun is predominantly present in Shudras. Very good. So mention which type of persons have which type of. And there was one more that was mentioned. It's not a quality, it's a quality. It was animalistic quality. Even one doesn't have nothing.
That's animals.
Like they're known as, they're as good as animals. Very important. There's a nice verse in Mahabharata, Adi Parva. And Vyasdev has been very strong. I think I've mentioned this sloka before. And talking about animals, even though one may have a human body, they are as good as animals. And what is that verse? Very nice verse. If you all want, you all can repeat. It's kind of a long verse, but that's okay. It says that ahar, bolo,
Ahar.
nidra,
Nidra.
bhai,
Bhai.
maithunam cha,
Maithunam cha
etad,
etat
naranam,
narana
pashubhi,
pashubhi
samana,
samana
dharmena,
Dharmena.
adhika,
Adhika.
vishesho,
Vishesha.
dharma,
Dharma.
vihina,
Vihina.
pashubhi,
Pashubhi.
samana. Ahar nidra bhai maithunam cha etad naranam pashubhi samana dharmena adhika vishesho dharma vihina pashubhi samana. Meaning eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Ahar, nidra, bhai and maithun. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending are the four functions
animals also too.
common to man and animal. Unless and until we perform a fifth function,
Dharma.
which is dharma, dharma vihina, without dharma, without spirituality, we are as good as animals. Pashubhi samana. Pretty strong. Direct. Nobody can be as direct as this. So one may be a nice suited booted person with a nice bungalow, nice car sitting out, but he is nothing less than an animal if he doesn't practice any spirituality.
Yeah.
That's very simple, straightforward. Next question, please. Okay, first of all, I'm going to ask an extra question before even going there. What is a bodily designation? Because the question is, why are these bodily designations unimportant? But let's first understand what is bodily designation. What is bodily? What does it mean? By examples, if you can give, what is a bodily designation?
It's a material quality.
Okay, if you can be a little more specific, that will help.
So, white persons, black persons.
Very good.
This is bodily.
Bodily, which is also called dehatma buddhi. Meaning, bodily concept means thinking that
Oh, yeah.
I am this body, he is the body, she is a body,
I'm Hindu.
dog
I'm
body,
Muslim, I'm-
cat body, Hindu body, Muslim body, white body, black body, Asian body. This is called
Bodily.
dehatma buddhi,
Yeah.
or it is called bodily conception.
This is
So why are these bodily designations unimportant? So by thinking that somebody is Hindu, somebody is Muslim, somebody is Christian, somebody is white, somebody is black, somebody is American, somebody is Asian, somebody is, even when you are in India, somebody is Bengali, somebody is Gujarati, somebody is Punjabi.
Even man, woman.
Eh?
Even man, woman.
Men are-
Yes. So why is it unimportant? It's a nice question. Something worth contemplating on. Why is it unimportant? That means 99.9999 to the power of 999. This is what most people are doing today. Unimportant things being on the bodily concept. Shastra clearly says it is unimportant, but why is it unimportant? माता बोलो unimportant क्यों है?
because we don't need Atma is inside, so why should I, right? Everybody has a
Everybody has same
the same
Atma.
Atma.
But
Parts-
the only
parts and
difference is
parcel.
we are
No,
not,
I understand what you are saying, but it is not connected to the. Why is it unimportant?
because being so and so doesn't connect you to the God. That's not
Good point, and we will elaborate a little bit on that. Anybody else wants to add anything?
It is temporary. The body is temporary.
Very nice. It's temporary. that is one of the important reasons why it is unimportant. Yes. What else? Well, if you want to refer, you can refer to the sheet. It's a good point. It is temporary, and it will not connect you to Krishna.
No, that is not fully correct. Because the human body is given to
No, the bodily
Connect to
designation will not connect you to Krishna. The body,
Yeah.
the human body will help you
to connect to Krishna.
to connect to Krishna. But although if you have a human body and if you are
Yeah,
on
the
a bodily
body
platform,
concept,
then that will not
yes.
help you to connect.
Then
to
it will
Krishna.
not.
It will not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Confused?
No.
No, it's clear.
Life is temporary also, it's saying.
Yeah, he said that it's
like
temporary.
if you, we become entangled with the modes of material nature.
Exactly. So one gets entangled with the modes of material nature. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasi. I am not a sannyasi, I am not a brahmana, I am not this, I am not that. So who are you, my dear sir? What is your real designation? If you are saying that I am not a Brahmin, I am not a Shudra, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Vanaprastha, I am not a Brahmachari, I am not a sannyasi, I am not a Grihastha. Then who are you, my dear sir?
A human being.
No, he says very nice. And please remember this. Some of these fundamental things, as I am discussing, are very, very important. He says, although we may not have that realization, but if we remember this, one day by the mercy of Krishna, we will reach that goal. And what is that he's saying? Gopi bhartu padakamalayo das anu das anu das anu das. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the devotee of Krishna. Gopi bhartu padakamalayo. Gopi bhartu means one who is the caretaker of the gopis. The gopis are dependent on Krishna. So I am a servant of these gopis, but a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of these gopis, meaning devotees. That is my designation. Narad Muni says, another wonderful verse is coming to my mind. Everybody please repeat. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam risikena risikesha sevanam tad bhakti uttama. So somebody asked Narad Muni, what is uttam bhakti? What is the symptoms of uttam bhakti? So Narad Muni is answering so nicely. Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam. Upadhi means bodily designation.
Diploma.
Thinking that I am this, I am that, I am Muslim, he is Hindu, he is Christian, he is Jew, he is black, he is white, he is Asian, he is American, he is Indian. This is called upadhi. It is called upadhi. And why is it upadhi? Because very simple. You are not this body, my dear sir. My dear madam, you are not this body. जो नहीं है, what is not, if you are thinking it is, then it is nonsense. It is an upadhi. Because Prabhupada gave this wonderful example. The sun, Surya Dev. Right now, it is probably over UK or Africa, right? In that area, in that region. Does that sun become, when the people from UK, they say, oh, now we have the sun over our country, so the sun becomes ours. Or the Africans, can they claim that this is African sun? Few hours later, in about 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, it will come over Canada. Can the Canadians or the Americans claim that this is American sun or Canadian sun? Few hours later, it will be again on Australia, and then in India. Can the Indians say? No. It is, so as far as the real person is concerned, is the soul. So the soul in the Muslim, or the soul in a black body, or a white body, or even in an ant or an elephant is still the same. Same quality. That is, and if we think anything besides that, then it is upadhi. So Narad Muni is saying, Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam. Vinirmuktam means please go beyond this upadhi. Please think outside the box. Vinirmuktam means please be bereft of this kind of thoughts. Usse aap mukt ho jao. Vinirmuktam means extremely. Please get out of this kind of concept. So sarva, all, means we just explained. Cat, dog, this, that. Sarva upadhi vinirmuktam. Tat paratena nirmalam. When we are able to actually see and feel and realize that everybody is a spirit soul and not the outer covering, then one becomes nirmal. Nirmal means pure. Nirmalam. And then, what should we do? Rishik ena risikesha sevanam tad bhakti uttama. One of the words in Sanskrit, rishik means senses, indriya. Right? We all have, anybody who has acquired a body has senses. So Rishik with this senses that we have, Rishik and Rishikesha Sevanam. Rishik again means senses and Esh means controller. Another name of Krishna is Rishikesh. So one should engage your senses in the service of the master of the senses, Krishna. And that is pure bhakti. So first, in order to even come to that platform, we have to go beyond the bodily concept. Right now, we honestly, it may sound very discouraging, it may sound really discouraging. None of us have that capability of going beyond the body. Otherwise, why we will have problems? Why we will have differences? Why we will be fighting with each other? We have issues because we are on a bodily concept.
Yeah.
Why we will get angry? We have to be very honest, introspective. Because the moment we see the soul and moment we recognize I am a soul and all this is nothing but Maya, it's illusion, then you are the most happiest person. Nice verse in Bhagavad Gita. Bolo. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma Na Shochati Na Kamshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti Labhyate. Krishna says that Brahma Bhuta Prasanna, one who is situated on a spiritual platform, one who has gone beyond the bodily designation, is known as Brahma Bhuta. Because Brahma means spiritual and Bhuta means that entity. So Brahma Bhuta, Prasanna Atma, that person is always very happy. Because he knows he is not going to die. He knows. I have heard this is a fact. There was one person, I read this many years ago, who was on a spiritual platform. He was like into the Bhagavad Gita, full realization of every shloka. And he had to go through a surgery where they had to actually cut open. And he told the doctors, I don't want any anesthesia. And I will not feel any pain. Go ahead and do it. Doctors were reluctant, but he insisted. And they cut him apart and everything. And he didn't feel it. Because he knew he's not this body. This pain, this hot, cold, matra sparshastu kaunteya, shitoshna sukha dukkhada, agama pai nityas tanti tikshasva bharata. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita says that all these things will come. Cold and hot. It's matra sparshastu. It is because of your sense perception. Sukha dukkha. Happiness, distress. All this comes, it's because of the sense perception. But you have to go beyond that.
Yeah. When we get some little bit pain of our body, we give up everything. We take care of that side only.
Exactly.
Always that side. We forget everything. Even sometimes, you don't feel like eating, you don't feel like sleeping, even body giving little bit pain or something like that. We are so much conscious of our body.
We're not only conscious, but we are completely in Maya.
Yeah.
Even though we are studying so many, but that does not mean that grace of Krishna will come to us one day if we are sincere. Not by our own endeavor. Ekaki amar paye harinam, ekaki amar nahi paye bal harinam sankirtan hai. Tumi kripa kari shraddha bindu diya, Deo Krishna naam dhane. Krishna se tomar Krishna dite par tomar shakti ache. Ami to gangal Krishna boli dhai dwa pache. So by the mercy of Krishna, a pure guru like Prabhupada will deliver us. We have no strength. No matter how much you study, how much you do, but if the kripa is not there, we will not go beyond this bodily concept. But we have to start somewhere. So that doesn't mean, okay, it's never going to happen, so why are we doing this? That endeavor, that sincere endeavor that we make will give us access to Krishna's kripa. That look, my very nice verse, another verse. Today I'm just, flooded with these verses coming from, now this is from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says, Tatya anukampa susikshamana bhunjana eva atmakrita vipatum. Meaning, my dear Lord, Brahmaji is saying in the Bhagavatam, I think it is the 11th canto, that according to my karma, whatever comes, let it come. Let me suffer. But at the same time, if somebody, Brahmaji is saying, sincerely bows down to you, or in other words, is Krishna conscious and makes a sincere endeavour, he says, Sadaya Bhav. He has a rightful claim, just like Prabhupada is writing in the purport, just like somebody has a rightful claim to the father's or mother's property. Children, right? When the parents pass away, who has the rightful claim? The children, right? So same way, that devotee has a rightful claim on Krishna's kripa. Has a right. That means Krishna, it is their right. Just like we say, it is my birthright to be free. Huh? We say that, right?
Yeah.
Huh? So it is their rightful claim. It is Sadaya Bhak. They will get the mercy of Krishna. Krishna, you cannot deny them mercy. Of course, Krishna will not. But what it is being stressed here. So, no matter even whatever our stage may be that we are still on the bodily concept. But if we keep studying this again and again and again and again, at some point we will start realizing. That realizations will build and we will come to that stage. And then, even though if we cannot come to the highest stage, another verse in Bhagavad Gita says that whatever you lack, I will, whatever you have, I will preserve, and whatever you lack, I will
possess.
I will give. I will give. So that is what our only goal is basically sincere desire. If that is there, everything will follow.
Intention.
Yes. That is the main thing. And all this is to build that. When our purity means what? Our purity means what? Sincere desire to know Krishna and to serve Radha Krishna. That itself is good enough. That means we have crossed the material world. Just that sincere desire. So bodily concept, why it is unimportant? These bodily concept, because that will keep you away from realizing that you are a spirit soul. If I constantly think, another simple example, that I am a king. Like a drunk person. Okay, let's take an example of somebody who is very intoxicated. And he is talking nonsense. He thinks he is something different. That same person when he is sober is a different person. True or not?
Yes.
Hai ki nahi hai?
Yeah.
Git Prabhu?
Yeah.
Right? That same person, if you look at him when he is not intoxicated, right, Satchitananda Prabhu? He behaves normal, and the normal circumstances, he is a different person. But when he is drunk, under the influence, that person is a different person. So right now, in that sense, we are completely drunk, we are in an intoxicated state because our liquor is the three modes of material nature. We are being influenced, just like when somebody takes a bottle of wine or some kind of alcohol or drugs, it creates an influence on the body, on the thinking. Maya, what it does, it creates an influence on your soul, making you think what you are not. And that is what exactly the word Maya means. Ma means not, and Ya means this. So what you are not is called Maya. So it makes you think all the time, 24/7, right from the time you've taken birth. Right from the time you've taken many births, from Anadikal. Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, there's a very nice book called Jaiva Dharma. Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Beautiful book.
I heard.
It's a very big book, and in Jaiva Dharma, Thakur Bhaktivinoda describes the actual journey of the jiva, right, all the way into the different Madhuryanas. Amazing book. Hopefully, if Krishna willing, one day if we have time, maybe we can study chapter by chapter. It's an amazing book. So my point is that why it is unimportant? Unimportant being because it keeps you intoxicated. It keeps you thinking what you are not. And who are you? Who are you?
Jivatma.
Jivatma. That's half.
Servant of Krishna.
Yes, servant of the servant of Krishna. That is complete definition. I am a spirit soul. Because even the Mayavadis and the Brahmavadis, they know that they are spirit souls. But their definition is not complete. Our definition of the spirit soul is complete according to the Vaishnava system is I am a spirit soul, but I am a servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Then that definition is complete. So is it clear?
Yeah.
So quickly in one line, somebody can tell me why is it unimportant, these bodily designations? Why are they unimportant?
Because it's
We are not the body.
temporary.
Okay, but it
We
will
are not only
it
the
will
body.
keep you what?
Ignorance.
Keep changing.
Ignore.
It will keep you in ignorance, very nice. Like in an intoxicated state, not realizing who you really are.
The real.
Yeah.
And if you cannot realize who you are, there's no question of realizing God. Atma and Paramatma. You can only realize when you have reached that stage. But if you're constantly drinking, can you rationalize? So basically what we are doing right now, we are all in the drunken or the under influence stage. Only those sages who have gone beyond the bodily concept, they can see that we are drunk. Right now we can't even see that we are drunk or we are intoxicated under the influence of the three modes of material nature.
I have a question.
Haji.
Passion and ignorance I can understand are influence. But why goodness is influence?
Yes, good question. Why? And we have said that many times. I said that even today.
Yeah, like I came with $20 and then I
No,
expired all.
no, that's not goodness, that is arrogance. Why is goodness bad? Goodness will take you to the heavenly planets.
No Krishna.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Paap, meaning either tamogun, rajogun, will take you to the hellish planets. But it expires and then you come back and you're still in the same jail. It's not taking you out of the jail, the karagar. Remember in this bhajan we sang? Huh? Miche vaya baddha jiva. This jiva is baddha. Even if you are in heaven, you are baddha.
So Brahmins don't have this knowledge?
No, they don't. Brahmins actually, Vaishnava is way beyond the Brahmin. There's a very
You heard that example, no? That cobbler and the Brahmins, he's studying, he's fasting, he's doing so many austerities. He's thinking that I am above the level. But he don't know the simple things of which cobbler knows. The God can do so many things, and he didn't believe that. So that means where the difference is, he don't have any bhakti, he don't have any faith of the God. That's the most important thing.
Brahmins are a sattvic platform. But they are not, there is one more platform beyond sattvic platform is Shuddha Sattvam. It is called Vasudev Shuddha Sattvam. And that is transcendental. What does the word transcendental mean? When you go beyond these three modes. Mode of ignorance, passion and goodness. When you cross, that is called transcendental. There is a fourth dimension, which is the real dimension. These three dimensions are known as gunas. What are they known as?
Gunas.
Gunas. And in Sanskrit, if I translate that into English, guna, one of the meaning of guna means not quality. Guna also means rope. A rope is used to what? To tie. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So we are tied.
Good.
We are tied with these three gunas. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita Arjuna that please go beyond these three modes. Nistray bhava guna Arjuna. Go beyond these three modes of material nature. Krishna clearly instructs.
So in this example that you gave, the story of cobbler.
Yes.
So that means although he was Shudra,
Yes.
cobbler, but he had that goodness.
No, he had the
What's the mode
Shuddha
of
Sattvam.
Chitta.
You are beyond goodness. Because his faith in Krishna was so strong. That Shuddha Sattvam is not dependent on these three modes of material nature. One may be a Shudra. Bhagavad says that one may be a dog eater. But if he is chanting the holy name of Krishna and he is in Krishna consciousness, he is most worshipable. He is even worshipable by me, Krishna says. So the point being that these three modes of material nature are external, but as far as the internal, if the jiva is concerned, if that jiva is situated on a transcendental platform, then obviously all these things don't matter. His birth, his bodily complexion, his features, etc. None of that matters. So that's what the cobbler was on that platform. He had full faith. That faith also, if we have cultivating, we actually don't have faith in Krishna. We don't have full faith in Krishna. Let's be very honest. We don't have full faith in Krishna. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, even if you just have full faith in me,
Karma is important.
Krishna says, what is that verse? Bhuktaram sarva yajna tapasya sarva loka maheshwaram gyatva mam shanti richati. If one believes that I am the enjoyer and I am the creator of all the worlds or the creation, material and spiritual, just by knowing that one will attain true peace. Surut sarva bhutanam, he says, Bhuktaram sarva yajna tapasyam sarva loka maheshwaram surut sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti richati. Just that one verse, if one is able to come to that conclusion, that Krishna, he says, Bhunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti samatma sudarram. After many births, Bhunam janmanam ante, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Bhunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyante, one who has got some knowledge will surrender to me. But such a person is very rare. What to talk? That is also jnani. What to talk about a bhakta who is beyond jnana. But jnana is the basis. Knowledge helps you to a certain extent to climb that ladder to reach bhakti. But to consider that jnana alone will take you to Krishna is not sufficient. Then that turns into arrogance. It is like a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Just like you were saying on the table, right? Sometimes the same medicine that you think that causes you problems can solve your problems.
Yes.
So the jnana is also like that. It can take you to Krishna and also it can take you away from Krishna. So it's important to
So
understand.
why did you say that you also don't, just now we were talking about we don't trust in Krishna 100%, completely you are saying. Do we trust in Krishna
Ask yourself.
100%? No.
If you're honest to yourself, the answer will be there. We are right now dependent on so many factors. Can you and I walk out of that door and go to Vrindavan leaving everything? Can we do it right now? Can you think not about your children, your husband? Can you think not carrying anything with you? That's what our Goswamis did.
Yes.
Tuktasu dastam, they give up everything. They didn't even turn back. Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami's wealth, you know how much wealth they had? 3 boatloads of gold coins 500 years ago. 3 nauka भर के gold के coins. Can you imagine how many billions of dollars that would be in today's conversion?
Billions and billions dollars.
And they simply tuchha. If you read the Shada Goswami Astakam, that is faith. We have some faith. We don't have full faith.
Okay.
Of course, if we don't have some faith, we will not be here. That's my point.
In
And all this is to cultivate that 100% faith.
in the office, you didn't get the raise. Okay, others got the raise. At that time, did you think that if Krishna would have given me, I'd have get the raise? But that time, what you thought?
Very good.
My boss is not good. He's
How to measure our faith?
he favoring those people.
How to measurement?
He's not favoring me.
faith.
At that time, did you think about Krishna? You didn't think.
Right.
Question is, how do you measure your faith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even ourselves.
Okay, the answer that I can immediately think of is your Krishna consciousness, the scale to know or measure, as the words that you have used, is how much are you not attracted to material things. That is the It is diametrically opposite. The more Krishna conscious you get, the less attraction to material things. That is the scale. That is the way to test yourself internally.
Measurement.
Yeah, measurement. That you are, the more you are in Krishna conscious, the more and more you will be the more and more you will not be attracted to material things.
No, but Prabhuji, what do you call a nice house? Like touchwood. These people have such beautiful house. They've spent money and they're taking time in decorating it. So isn't it material?
It is material.
Yeah, but,
But
they look like so
But-
devotee
No.
like
Let me finish. I'm not done yet. It is material as long as they're doing it for their own pleasure. But if they think this is Krishna's house and they're doing it for the pleasure of Krishna, then the same activity becomes transcendental.
Changes.
It changes. Just like eating.
no, but she's wearing nice sari, you're wearing a nice shawl. So isn't it material?
It is material. In my case, it is 100% material.
So
I'm
that
admitting
is
it.
What? So like you said, like less material is how you measure your.
Like,
You mean attachment.
Like, okay,
Attachment.
suppose Prabhuji came here to, give us time, and instead of somebody call Prabhuji to having dinner and dance with me, but he didn't go, he refused. So that is material, he refused that one.
Yeah, so that's a good example. That somebody, for example,
Yeah.
somebody may have invited you today for a birthday party,
Yeah.
or somebody may have invited you for some other so-called material, what do you call, activity or program or party, but you decided no, I want to come to the satsang. So that is a sign that you are less attracted to those things that you used to do in the past, and now you are attracted that you are waiting, when is the next satsang?
Let's see how you came. Today you went to Mississauga and then you just came.
So living comfortably is no measure, right? If you can afford something, you will. Living comfortably.
Okay,
is,
the answer I will give based on our acharyas. Okay, I'm going to give you based on acharyas, not my own example or not by what I see around me. Based on what our acharyas. Nice, wonderful Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami, when he gave up everything, including all his money and wealth and everything, and he came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Banaras. At that time, Sanatana Goswami, somebody had given him a nice blanket. His blanket was given to him. And he had given up everything else. No money. As a matter of fact, he looked like a Muslim, what do you call it? Fakir. Fakir. He had a beard and he was not dressed well. He didn't care about his bodily thing. But he had that blanket. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at him, kept looking at his blanket. Mahaprabhu just kept on staring at his blanket. So Sanatana Goswami understood that Mahaprabhu did not approve of that. So then he went to the bank of the river by Ganga, and there was an old man there, very, very poor person, and he had a torn blanket. He says, "My dear sir, can I give you this blanket, and can you in exchange give me that one?" So that man was laughing. He said, "Why are you making fun of me? Who is going to give an expensive blanket for a torn blanket?" No, I'm very serious, Sanatana Goswami said. So then he said, "Of course, if you want it, your choice, take it." So he took that torn blanket and he gave away his nice blanket. So the point is, I think that should give you an answer to it. So again, this can be very disappointing. But you know what, when we have knowledge of these things, Krishna will help us if we are really sincerely desire. Because then it is not on the bodily concept. Body doesn't need anything. Body doesn't need all these things. Because internally, Sanatana Goswami is very happy. He's full of bliss. He's constantly thinking of Krishna. He's constantly thinking of Mahaprabhu. He's constantly thinking of those things. So there is no comparison to that happiness and maybe when he gave up 3 boatloads of gold. or even if he had the last piece that he actually unconsciously had on him, which Mahaprabhu disapproved, and he even gave that up because he realized that Mahaprabhu didn't like. Then when he came back with that old blanket, Mahaprabhu was very pleased with him. So, of course, we cannot imitate those personalities. Don't even think for a moment. We have to act according to our realization. But we have to know the mark, where we need to go at some point. And when that desire is there, it will come. So don't feel bad that I am enjoying my house, or I'm going to buy a new house, or I'm going to buy a new car.
Of course you should have, but you should.
But you should also have knowledge about these things. And as you progress in bhakti, automatically that you will not be attracted to these things. Artificially, if one does it, it's not going to last too long. That's the point. So the measurement, very nice question, Prabhu, you asked. How do you measure your faith, or how do you measure your Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada said that the more you are advanced, the more materially you are not attracted to material things. So that every individual knows. Sometimes you may even
I'll give you another example. Before, when I was school, university, I used to love listening the Hemant Kumar songs, Kishore Kumar songs, and all these things. Cassette I used to love. Now, slowly I have changed that habit. Now, at this age, if I listen Hemant Kumar song in the morning, afternoon if it plays in the car again, I feel bored. Take it out. I put the Hare Krishna cassette. Whole day it plays, I never get bored.
Yeah.
I never get bored.
Same mantra and we don't get
bored. The same Hemant Kumar, I played in the morning, I enjoy it.
Again and again.
I enjoy it. In the evening, by mistake, I didn't change it. But as soon as I put on the car, it started playing. After 2-3 seconds or after 2-3 minutes, bored. Take it out. That's why your habit, everything.
perfect example.
Everything will be changing. Everything will be changing. You have to help yourself. That's all. You have to help yourself. Before also, some people used to drink, some people used to have meat, eat, so many things. But afterwards, you left it, those things. Now you don't feel like even thinking of those. That's the habit, little bit.
Nice verse in the Bhagavad Gita. What you're saying, Param Drishtva Nivartate. That's the last line, and now it's not coming. Basically, what it means is that when one gets taste, higher taste, then the things that are of lower taste automatically they disappear.
Goes.
They go away. Second chapter, I can't remember the whole verse right now.
Yes.
Anyways,
Okay.
but the point is that this is something that will develop over as we practice our Krishna consciousness. There are so many devotees who have left their house and they are staying in Vrindavan, they're staying in the Dham, doing service. They're not interested in, even though they are from the West. I'm talking about Westerners, right? If you go, you'll find some devotees that are like that. So that shows that they have that vairagya. It is diametrically opposite. When you develop the renunciation, then your Krishna consciousness will increase. Understanding of the absolute truth of a person situated in the mode of goodness. Nice question. Bolo.
What is the understanding of the
What is the understanding of the absolute truth of a person situated in the mode of goodness?
The understanding is that the Supreme is Brahma.
Very nice. Geet
And
Prabhu,
not,
amazing.
Yeah.
That was not a very easy question to catch the answer.
It's
But you
easy.
got it. You hit the bullseye.
But I had a question, Prabhu, here.
Wait, first let's absorb the answer. Let everybody else. Please repeat.
No, maybe you can.
I will expound, but please
reply
repeat the answer.
To in the same thing. Since even the mode of goodness
Yes.
is under the influence of karma,
Yes.
the absolute truth which is one level higher than the mode of goodness, which is Krishna. The irregular individuals who are still in the mode of goodness have not reached there. They believe that the highest stage they can go is Brahma, or the effulgence of God,
Very
or the
nice.
Jyoti.
Understood?
So,
Stop here, please. ये बात समझ में आई?
and
Have you understood this?
and not just that, and they actually, in addition to that, they feel that Krishna is one level below the Brahma Jyoti,
Yes.
which is actually,
Yes.
in reality, it is the opposite of that.
Yes. आया समझ में? Understood? नहीं बोलो clearly. नहीं आया. ठीक है. I'll expound a little bit on it.
No, first you explain this sentence.
हाँ जी.
That absolute, the
Absolute truth?
no, the even impersonal Brahman conception of the absolute truth
Yes.
cannot go beyond the impersonal Brahman conception of absolute truth.
Yes. So people who are in goodness, they cannot go beyond the absolute conception of Brahman. Brahman, basically there are three concepts of the Supreme Lord. What are the three concepts? Brahma iti, Paramatma iti, Bhagwan iti, Shabhyate. The Supreme Lord can be realized in three stages. The first stage that they are talking about in the mode of goodness is Brahma. Brahma means the effulgence, Brahma Jyoti. The Supreme Lord is, the Vaishnavas explain that He is so full of effulgence, just like, very simple example, if you see a picture of some Acharya or Guru or even Bhagwan, you see there is the halo there. There is an effulgence, right? Right? That effulgence. So that effulgence is because of that great purity that they possess. Even you see somebody is practicing Krishna consciousness nicely, or some sadhu if you see, you will see that they are effulgent.
Chamak
If you compare chamak hai on their face,
Aura.
you see there is a special aura compared to the other people. So the spiritual worlds, which is comprising of 3/4 of the creation. How many?
3/4.
And 1/4 is material. So we are minorities. The 3/4 of the spiritual world is full of living entities that are mukta, that are liberated souls. So can you imagine how much effulgence is there in the spiritual world? Just not from the Lord Himself or the avatars of the Lord, but also the living entities there. They are glowing. They are glowing out of their purity. That glow is considered Brahman. That effulgence. जो प्रकाश बोलते हैं ना ज्योति. हाँ. So that jyoti is a layer, just like when you have a light, that is a light beam. If there is a light beam on your face, Mataji, try to understand, I'm coming to this point. If there is a light beam on your face, can you see the object behind it?
No, you get blind.
You get blinded, right? But that light beam is coming from a certain object, a real object, right or wrong? So that real object is Krishna. The real object is all those living entities in the spiritual world. But what these people in the mode of goodness is, they acknowledge and they just see the light and they think that is the absolute and that is the final. There is nothing beyond that.
Prabhu.
1 second. I want to make this concept very clear.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So, the people in the mode of goodness, they reach the Brahman state. Brahman means the light or the effulgence. They cannot go beyond that. And the worst part is they consider that as the final.
So that's what he said was Brahma Jyoti.
Yes. The Brahma Jyoti. It's called also Brahman, the effulgence. Okay? It's called Brahman. Yes, Prabhu.
So I understand that part of goodness, and those who are in that platform, they consider that as
Hari Hari.
the absolute truth, and
Radhe.
it's more karma related and all that. But the question which I have is that why they cannot go and think or why they cannot come to know or realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality and not the Brahm? What is stopping them?
Very good question. The main reason why it's stopping them is because they have been guided in that way. And the people who are guiding them in that way convince them that this is the ultimate and our goal is to merge into the Brahman and I am that Brahman. Again, it's a very important topic. Please try to concentrate on my words. Otherwise you will not be able to follow it properly. They think that ultimately they use this Shastra word, Aham Brahmasmi. You heard that word, right? That is true. Aham means me, Brahma Asmi means I am a spiritual soul. But Aham Brahma Asmi, they also mean that I am that effulgence, I am He. Soham. You heard that terminology? Soham, I am He. So they think that when I reach that platform, I am God. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahma Jyoti. Ultimately, that is the final goal and I have achieved it and that is my goal, or I will achieve it. And I will become one with God. So when they have that, and when you become one with God, that means there is no question of any servitorship. There is no question of any das. So that is that arrogance that comes in, that I am equal, you are equal, we are both God. Why should I serve you? That is why any of these Mayavad places you go, that who believe in this kind of philosophy, they don't have any seva there. They don't offer any bhoga to the Lord. They don't offer any items to the Lord. Although they may have a picture, they initially say that they do the Panchopasana. They do Hanumanji, they do Suryadev, they do Shivji, they do Ma, Durga Devi. Like that, this Panchopasana they do. And this is initial stage. This is just to concentrate your mind. We are giving you a form so you can concentrate. But that is very basic. That's the ABC. When you go beyond that, you will need no form. You will not need any form because ultimately all this is Brahma Jyoti. You are seeing all this is because of Maya. But when you are fully realized, you will see that everything is Brahma Jyoti. And there is no question of serving. One very good example I will give you that Prabhupada demonstrated in Mayapur. One time Srila Prabhupada, at Mayapur the temple was not yet built. It was still a lot of fields, rice fields. And Prabhupada always had the habit of taking morning walks. So he had some of his disciples with him. And Prabhupada used to live in that hut. If you actually go to Mayapur Mandir, that hut is still there.
Yes.
As soon as you enter, there is Akhanda Kirtan going on.
On your left hand side.
Yes, on the left hand side. So Prabhupada lived there and some of the disciples were living in an austere condition, but every morning Prabhupada went for a walk, no matter where he was in the world. He went. So he was walking in the rice fields, and there is what you call there is a pagdandi, if you call that, separating the fields. There is like an elevation. So Prabhupada was walking on it, and the disciples are walking behind. And then one point came when that piece of tract of land suddenly stopped, and there was a big hole, a ditch, and then it continued. So one disciple, what he did, he went down on his four. Prabhupada, please step on me and you cross. So Prabhupada did that. He did that favor. He showed his mercy and he put his leg on the back and he crossed over. And then the other young disciples, they simply jumped. Right? They didn't need to, because Prabhupada, his body is. So then the person who was in the ditch one of the disciples tried to pull him out by giving him his hand. And Prabhupada, with his stick, he shooed. He basically stopped him and let him be there. So and everybody was shocked. What kind of behavior is that? This man just helped you cross. And you are kicking him away. So Prabhupada simply smiled, and he had a most wonderful smile, and he said, this is Mayavad concept, that you don't need Guru anymore, you already crossed over, so there is no Guru, me, I am the same, Guru is the same, Bhagwan is the same. So basically, this concept about merging in the Brahman means you don't have any service to do, you are not subservient to anyone. How does it sound when somebody tells that you are eternally a servant of such and such? Doesn't sound good, but if I say, you don't know Kavita ji, you are actually Bhagwan, it's a matter of time. That sounds very nice, no? Sounds so nice, and you will buy that philosophy easily than if I tell you, for the rest of the creation, as long as the creation exists, the rest of eternity, you are just going to be a servant. Which one sounds better? The first one, where you want to become God. So that is the reason.
Second one, once you go into Krishna consciousness.
That's a different story. But externally speaking, when somebody tells you that you are going to eternally remain a servant or a slave, das, that's the word we use, right? How does that sound? That sounds very bad to the ears. Nobody wants to be a servant. Nobody actually really speaking, because of Maya, because the influence of Maya. We all want to be controllers, we want to be Ishwaras. So, coming to your question, I hope it is answered. Because of the attitude of this wonderful attitude that I am going to be Him. That is why I want to pursue that. Rather than, Ishopanishad says, I think 29th or 27th verse, the devotee is saying, my dear Lord, your effulgence is so powerful. The Brahmajyoti is so powerful. Please remove this curtain so that I can see you really. It's like somebody you're driving on the highway and somebody throws a high beam at you. So sometimes you blink that light. Right? That's the protocol. Hai ki nahi hai?
Yeah.
So you dim your light so I can see what is going on. So similarly, devotee is requesting the Lord, please, I know that this is not it. I know you are behind that curtain. Please remove this curtain so I can get the real darshan of you.
So in that story, what did Sri Prabhupada meant?
What he meant is that I have crossed the material world, the three modes of material nature. Now I don't need you. So basically what the concept is, who is Guru, who is Bhagwan? We are all the same. Didn't get it. Samjhe nahi samjhe?
Prabhupada joking or
Prabhupada was of course joking, but he was setting a very fundamental example.
What was that example?
Okay, the example is that that Prabhu went into the ditch.
No, that's fine. But what did he mean when he didn't help him to come up, get up?
Yeah.
What he meant is that I have crossed, although I have crossed with your help, but ultimately we are all the same. I am not subservient to you. It's like you are just, nothing. So the Mayavadis don't believe in ultimately Guru or Bhagwan. I am He.
Yes. They think all are same.
They think all are same.
All are same.
Whereas the Vaishnavas
But
are
not Mayavadi.
the Vaishnavas are completing it. The Vaishnavas are completely indebted to other Vaishnavas, especially to Guru, because they help you cross over the material world.
Oh, he was being sarcastic about Mayavad.
Yes.
I see.
He was being sarcastic through that example.
That Mayavad.
Yes.
He was trying to point out to them, giving them an
This is
example.
Mayavad.
So basically, I don't need you anymore. That's what he's trying to say. I've already achieved my goal.
Yeah, that's what's happening in the world.
I don't need you anymore. And that's exactly what is happening. So they give this example that you take the boat with the help of a boatman, you cross it. Once you cross over it, you forget the boatman, you forget the gratitude. There is no gratitude, because gratitude means what? Humble. Humble means what? You're a servant. But here I am not a servant. I am equal. Why should I serve you? We are both the same platform. Generally what happens, you bow down to a person who is superior to you, or when you acknowledge that he is superior to me. Hai ki nahi hai? But when that doesn't happen, and when I'm thinking I'm equal, that equals don't bow down to each other, or equals don't serve each other. And that is the thing, because he says, I am God. I know people who think like that. I've come across people personally.
Yeah.
They tell us, I am God.
But if we are God, then
Anukul Thakur used to say that thing.
Huh?
Anukul Thakur.
So many.
He said, I always ask sun to rise morning time.
Ah.
Okay, sun, rise up, rise up. And so he used to tell everybody, just see.
So many are there like
I am
that.
asking, that's why he's living.
What God? I am God. This is what they say.
But if we are God, we won't be in this miserable condition.
Yes, that's what Prabhupada said. What kind of God you are that your teeth is paining and you have to run to the dentist?
And we don't know what's happening in
And
our
that is
body.
also very generous of Prabhupada to say that. You know, one of Anjali's cousins, he is a total Mayavad. And I had a discussion with him and he says he's God. Then I had to tell him that why you have to go to the bathroom every day and run to the paikana. Huh? What kind of God you are? So anyways, you get the point?
Yeah.
That is why they don't like the Vaishnava concept. Because Vaishnava concept is telling you that you are a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Not even first servant, you are the last servant. Samjhe aap? That is not gelling with them. They don't like that. Oh my God, they will never accept it. They don't accept Bhagavad. They don't accept Bhagavad, these Mayavads. They don't accept Bhagavad because Bhagavad expounds the Vaishnava philosophy. They don't accept it. So anyways, that is very nice. So anyways, what is the last question?
Finish the Prabhu. Time.
Why?
What?
Good.
Why it is important to be Krishna conscious?
Oh, that's a very broad question.
So we have to read this also. Preaching is the essence.
Yeah, that is only 2 seconds.
Do it.
Why is it important to be Krishna conscious? Based on our discussion today.
We have to go back to the Godhead.
Perfect.
Krishna is the supreme
Perfect.
personality.
From this angle, but not from the highest angle. I will touch on that. Give me 2 seconds. What else?
What is that?
Because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead,
Yeah.
and we are the servants of
Okay,
Krishna.
that's true.
So
Very true. Answer is right based on this, but based on Mahaprabhu's answer, it is wrong answer. You'll be surprised. That is another subject for discussion. Going back to Godhead is not our goal.
No.
And everybody in ISKCON will say that this is wrong. Everybody wants to go back to Godhead. But going back to Godhead is not the goal. That is what our Gaudiya Acharyas say.
But that is the ultimate goal.
No, it is not. Sorry,
So
sir.
by going back to Godhead is not liberation?
Liberation means when you are fully Krishna conscious, wherever you are situated. Sthane sthita sudhi gadar tanoma vanovir. Ajita jita, you can win victory over the one who is known as Ajit. One who can. Rai Ramanand Samvad, you heard that how many times that chapter?
Oh.
Krishna rejects even Bhagavad Gita, Mahaprabhu rejects even Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, that's a too advanced subject to discuss right now, but it's a very nice subject. I want to, just for the record, it's being recorded, going back to Godhead is not the goal. Prabhupada encouraged us, just like a child being given something to, like what do you call, some kind of encouragement by saying that you do this, you will get this. Candy or whatever. Going back to Godhead is not the goal. It says, as far as our Vaishnava Acharyas are concerned, wherever you are situated, you serve Krishna. And that is the highest goal. Swargeshu, Narkeshu, Apavargeshu, Samatulya Darshana. For a Vaishnava, whether he goes to heaven, to the spiritual world, or even to hell, for him it's the same as long as he is serving Krishna. Otherwise, why would Prabhupada come here? Think about it. Why would our Acharyas come here? They were well situated in Golok Dham. They came here because they are fully liberated. They will always remain liberated even though they are here in the material world, because they are doing perfect seva for Krishna to deliver people like us. That is back to Godhead. It's your consciousness. It is not actually a physical location that you need to be. It is good if you are given that. It's okay. But whatever pleases you. Krishna said, you know what? You go down and there are so many souls that you need to preach to. Mahaprabhu had this desire to preach my name in every town and village. I am asking you to do that. Sure, my dear Krishna. Leaving the comfort of Golok, leaving his personal company. Prabhupada writes in his Markine Bhagavad, when he was in Jaldut, that when will that day come again when I will be again with you frolicking in the meadows of Vrindavan. It gives a glimpse that Prabhupada was already there and having fun with Krishna and leaving that fun and coming here and breaking his head with all these Westerners and teaching them how to wear dhoti and teaching them how to wear tilak and cooking and night and day speaking about Krishna, and even then some people did not understand, but hey, that was pleasing Krishna. That is back to Godhead, Prabhuji. Not back to Godhead as going in Golok Vrindavan. No. And many will beg, I challenge anybody who wants to challenge me on this, because that's what Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada has written. That is what Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written. That is what our Acharyas have written. Going back to Godhead is just a small
selfishness.
It is a selfishness. Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Tat Bhakti Uttama. Whatever Krishna says, you go to hell and preach that. Yes, my dear Lord. That is his desire, I will do it. That is liberation. That is liberation for that devotee. I hope that makes it clear. Going back to Godhead, no. None of our acharyas said that give me darshan Krishna. Open any song book, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, never they said give me darshan. Prabhupada very clearly said, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, he said, don't try to Sri Krishna. You're shocked. Don't try to Sri Krishna, he said. Perform your seva in such a way that whenever Krishna pleases, he will see you. This is highest principle that I am giving. It's up to you if you want to accept or not. But this is what we should have at the back of our head. Not that I want to go back to Godhead. No. For me, Jatha Vaishnava Gana say Stan Vrindavan. Wherever there are pure Vaishnavas, that is Vrindavan. That is where Krishna is.
That is Vaikuntha.
That is Vaikuntha. Somebody asked that where are you, Narayan? So he tells Naradji had asked, can you tell me a definite place where I can find you? Some devotees are asking, can you tell me for certainty where we can find you? So he says, Naham vasami Vaikunthe yogi na hridayacha tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti mad bhakta. So it is not necessary that you will find 100% that I will be in Vaikuntha. For sure, I am there. But I am my own free will, I am my own master. It is not necessary that you will even find me in the hearts of those devotees who are meditating, those yogis. But you will certainly find me there where my devotees are singing my glories. So it's a very high consciousness that we have just described here. And it is my duty, because I have somehow by the mercy of the acharyas, I have at least have this information. I may have not realized it. I may have not fully understood it. But since you have given me this opportunity to kind of lead, then it becomes my moral duty to tell what is the highest truth. Although it may not sound what you have been hearing all these years and all this life. And it came to as a Mataji, it came as a shock to me too. Somebody asked Prabhupada in Bombay, and also I think Ohio State University, Indian boy. He got up in front of 10,000 people. He says, Swamiji, if there is Krishna, show me Krishna. If there is Krishna, you show me Krishna. He challenged in a big crowd. Imagine there is a pravachan going on and this one man stands up and he challenges like that. And people are thinking, we are here to hear about Krishna. This man is talking that if there is Krishna, if this is a great saint, he should, that thought comes. So Prabhupada immediately, this wasn't actually cross-method, because Prabhupada answered back in Hindi. Agar Krishna hai to Krishna dikhaiye. ऐसा बोला वो, चैलेंज किया. तो प्रभुपाद जी क्या बोले पता है? कृष्णा तुम्हारे बाप का कोई नौकर नहीं है जो बंसी बजाते बजाते तुम्हारे सामने खड़ा हो जाएगा. पहले क्वालिफिकेशन लो. This is exactly how he said it in Hindi. You take the qualification. He is the master. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is saying this. Ashlisha padaratam pinashtumam Darshanam marma harto karatua yatha tathava vidhato lampato mat prananathas sayevana para. Meaning, in the Sistastakam last verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is concluding that, my dear Krishna, you are the master, you are the Lord. Whether you want to embrace me or whether you want to kick me. But I don't care, Krishna. Whatever the case may be, you are the Lord and Master. And in spite of the way you behave with me, you will always remain my Lord and Master, birth after birth after birth after birth. Mat prananathasya eva na para. Nobody else. That is pure bhakti. That is back to Godhead. That is back to Godhead. When you have that faith, when you have that consciousness. The gopis were kicked by Krishna. Kicked in the sense, Krishna disappeared. How much they gave? How much they gave to Krishna? They gave up their families, they gave up their sleep, they gave up the shame from society. Krishna used to even tell them that you are coming in the middle of the night to see me. Aren't you worried about the society? Aren't you worried about what your husband will be thinking? What your mother-in-law will be thinking? What your sister-in-laws will be thinking? Go back before they find out. And they said, no. You do whatever you want with us. Whether you kick us or not, that is the mood of Mahaprabhu. That is that Gopi Bhav, and that is the highest Bhav, which is Radharani. There is that Bhav of Radharani is there in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he is talking about in the 8th verse, which the line that I just explained. That Krishna, so much, you have the full right over us. We have no right over you. Whatever you want, you do with us. That is the mood. Not that Krishna, you be with us all the time. Even if you're not with us, you are still always with us. It's like Prabhupada gives this example, finally, that the American embassy in Delhi, as an example, right? It is in India, right? But once you enter that compound, it is not India. The jurisdiction is, Indian jurisdiction doesn't apply. Inside, once you enter that gate. So similarly, a pure devotee, he may not be in Golok physically, but he is from Golok and he is always in Golok, wherever he is. So back to Godhead, as far as that is concerned, they are always in Godhead. They are always with Godhead. Thik ache Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Thank you.